How's it going, Charlie? I'm Austin. I just had a question related to Second Amendment rights. We saw the shooting that happened recently, and a lot of people are upset. But I'm seeing people argue for the other side that they want to take our Second Amendment rights away. How do we convince them that it's important to have the right to defend ourselves and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you. So I'm a big Second Amendment fan, but I think most politicians are cowards when it comes to defending why we have a Second Amendment. This is why I would not be a good politician, or maybe I would, I don't know, but because I actually speak my mind. The Second Amendment is not about hunting. I love hunting. The Second Amendment is not even about personal defense. That is important. The Second Amendment is there, God forbid, so that you can defend yourself against a tyrannical government.
Come on.
And if that talk scares you, wow, that's radical, Charlie. I don't know about that. Well, then you have not really read any of the literature of our founding fathers. Yep. Number two, you've not read any 20th century history. You're just living in Narnia. By the way, if you were actually living in Narnia, you would be wiser than wherever you're living, because C.S. Lewis was really smart. So I don't know what alternative universe you're living in. Yep. You just don't want to face reality that governments tend to get tyrannical, and that if people need an ability to protect themselves and their communities and their families. Now, we must also be real. We must be honest with the population. Having an armed citizenry comes with a price. Wow. And that is part of liberty. Wow. Driving comes with a price. 50,000 people die on the road every year. Wow. That's a price. You get rid of driving, you'd have 50,000 less auto fatalities. But we have decided that the benefit of driving, speed, accessibility, mobility, having products, services, is worth the cost of 50,000 people dying on the road. Wow. So we need to be very clear that you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. Right. You can significantly reduce them through having more fathers in the home, yes, by having more armed guards in front of schools. We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. Sure. So then how do you reduce? Very simple. People say, oh, Charlie, how do you stop school shootings? I don't know. How did we stop shootings at baseball games? Because we have armed guards outside of baseball games. That's why. How did we stop all the shootings at airports? We have armed guards outside of airports. How do we stop all the shootings at banks? We have armed guards outside of banks. How do we stop all the shootings at gun shows? Notice there's not a lot of mass shootings at gun shows. There's all these guns because everyone's armed. If our money and our sporting events and our airplanes have armed guards, why don't our children?
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assaults, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put it on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
Hello, ladies and gents. It's been a while since I made a video on this channel, because the reason being, I think, is because I said everything I had to say. My intention was never to be a YouTuber. It was simply to speak my mind on topics that I care about. And I've been super busy and just nothing I mean, every traditional YouTube out there has covered a lot of things I wanted to cover anyway. And I'm not trying to compete with them, so just accept it. I'm not going to repeat myself, am I? You know what I mean? Repeat what they said. But I digress. I am going to break that rule because I think I owe it. I owe it to the world to speak about this man who started from nothing and became someone. Now, obviously, I don't know his past. I don't know how he was brought up. I have no idea the background of him, but I don't need to know any of that. You don't need to know anything about a person, as in the background, to hear that person speak. You know, when I talk to some random guy on the street or whatever, I don't need to know what he's been through to have a conversation with them. You know, and that's the beauty of it. You can just speak, have a conversation. And every once in a while, you get to meet people you click with. That's how you make friends, and you can instantly click like that. Oh, you think like me? You're as crazy as me. That's great. And that is what life's about. It's about creating those moments. Now, a lot of it is going to be just the normal nonsense you get from normal people. But sometimes you click. It clicks. You know. Now, I say normal nonsense, normal people. I'm not trying to alienate everyone here. Because I also think I'm weird, okay? I also think I only click with weird people. If you're not weird in some weird way, then I'm not going to click with you. We're not going to be, you know, acquaintances, sure, but it has to be some kind of weird thing about you. Something special, something that makes you stand out. Otherwise, you're just a normal person, bland, nothing new. You know, the people who spout the same narrative, same talking points, the same things they've learned in MSN News or whatever they've read on Reddit or Twitter or whatever else. It's not very interesting. Anyway, where am I going with this? There's a person who I have watched a fair amount of, and I enjoyed his, his debate me sessions. He was entertaining, and at the very least, interesting. For the most part, I wasn't a religious fan. There's a number of things I disagreed with him on, which I'm not going to go into today, or maybe I will. I don't know. But either way, if I do, I'm not holding it against him. Yeah. There was one question I wanted to ask him. You know, I was hoping he'd go back to the UK when I'm, around, just so I could come up and ask him this question. Because I was really interested to see his perspective, and because he comes from a very religious background. Now, you all know who I'm talking about, and I ought to say it. Mr. Charlie Kirk. God bless him. Now, I don't know why his death has impacted me so much. And that's why I haven't spoken about it. I haven't made any video on this channel for a while. What's spurred me to make this video about Charlie Kirk? It's because all he did was speak his mind. And I can't understand the level of abuse people are giving online, and even on my own Facebook. Now, normally I would just disown them. Okay, you're blocked because you're rejoicing over someone's death. But Charlie Kirk was not one of those people. He would have wanted me to engage in open debate. And that is the crazy thing about all of this, is that Charlie Kirk, had he survived, he wouldn't have wanted, well, from me at least, from my perspective, he wouldn't have wanted justice, as in he wouldn't have wanted, to retribution, or killing of that man. He would have wanted to understand why, dude. Why did you kill me? And that is, I know, I wasn't, and that's true. I think that's true, and that makes it even worse. I wish I could say that Charlie Kirk would have wanted with vengeance, but no. And I've just been, don't know why I do it to myself, but I've just been perusing some quotes of his, which I'll show you down below. But one of the things about forgiveness is always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Another one is, to be a Christian means to forgive the inexcusable because God has forgiven the inexcusable in you. Now, whether you're a Christian or not, he believed in this. That was his belief. How can someone hate someone who gives these profound quotes and just cherry pick things he said out of context and say, look, bad guy, Nazi, fascist. This guy was a fascist. This guy was the next Hitler. Are we kidding? You guys are seriously deranged. It's insane. No, I may disagree with Charlie Kirk on a number of issues, but they're issues that wouldn't have ever, had we disagreed, wouldn't have made me change my viewpoint on him. He's still, for me, he was still a good man. You know, just saying what he thought and was passionate about what he believed in. And that is fundamentally what freedom's all about. You should be free to say your mind, you know, say the truth, say what you think. Now, of course, the caveats, all the caveats alongside that, but Charlie Kirk was never advocated for violence. He never championed or glorified death. And unless someone can prove me wrong, because I've never seen it, and I tried to be impartial. Now, if he did, I've heard a story. Again, I'm not quoting this. I'm not believing it. But some guy was telling me how Charlie Kirk glorified George Floyd's death. Now, I don't believe that for a second. I don't think he glorified George Floyd's death. I never saw that. If he did, then it's wrong. He shouldn't have done that. But again, back to Christianity, 2 wrongs don't make a right. I don't know. Or, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the profound Christian statements one can make. You know, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, I guess. I don't know. That's one of those ones I know. But there's another quote I want to share with you. This was not done by me, but this is I watched this video. I saw it at the time, many years ago. And this is what I liked about him, because he would talk to anyone. So I was convinced he would talk to me. I was convinced he would. Oh, because I had a question to ask him. I had a question. Now, of course, I can't ask the question. And the reason why I wanted to ask him is because of he's so profoundly intelligent and smart that maybe he could convince me that I'm wrong. Because in my mind, I'm right. But again, it wasn't be confrontational. I thought it was a genuine question that hopefully can rationalize me way out of my own logic with some spiritual guidance. Now, I'm not much of a spiritualist, so it'd be a hard one for him to convince. But I was happy to entertain the idea that maybe he can do that, and I would be interested to see if he could. Because I'm stubborn, and my logic arrives me at a certain point, and I wanted him to explain me if I'm wrong. That's all I wanted to. I wanted to do that. Of course, I can't do that anymore. But anyway, I read this quote. I love talking with people I disagree with. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil that they lose their humanity. what makes this country on the verge of going to a place where we don't want it to go is because we're afraid to have conversations. I'm not. I agree we shouldn't. I mean, we all know we are scared of having conversations. You know, even this video, you know, it picks up by the wrong mob. It gets shared, put online. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to put online, but shared with the wrong people and the wrong narrative, I could get fired. Even though I've said nothing. But the second bad publicity comes my way for saying something the left always don't want, that's when you lose your job. And so, okay. That's how it is in the UK, at least. So I've got to be very careful what I say. But at the end of the day, I am going to say what I say because I stand by what I said here. I stand by everything I've said. Anyone who laughs, and for me, okay, for me, the dividing line is not between left and right. It's between those who champion the death of Charlie Kirk and those who don't. That's the line. For me, that's a line. I was never happy about George Floyd dying. I was never happy. I was never even. I was unhappy it happened that way. I was actually unhappy about it. I wasn't happy about the way it was. It happened, i.e., a lot of people were using it as an excuse to riot. And you know, a life lost is a life lost. All life is bad. All life lost is bad, right? So even those who die in Ukraine or Gaza, no matter what your political position is, it's still awful. Those who celebrate the murder of innocents, or just murder of anyone, really. I mean, well, caveats to that, I guess. Murderers, I've not much compassion for murderers, but you know, people like Charlie Kirk, not a bad bone in his body, and he died. He died for it. It's so tough. That is so tough. My heart goes out to his family, his kids. The kids will grow old without a father. That's, I mean, you know, no, I won't say I was going to say. Oh, maybe I should. I don't know if I'll say what I want to say because it's awful. I was going to say some lines that, you know, it's worse for the kids. You know, I really think it's worse for the kids. I'm not saying that Erica, his wife, won't be upset, or it doesn't hurt her at all. Of course it does. But she knew Charlie Kirk, and she had memories with him, and she can cherish those memories as she can. But the kids, they won't be able to. They're very young kids, and that's the truly awful thing about this. I didn't see the video. I just know he died. I heard. I mean, I saw a black blurred out video. I have no willingness to watch a video of him dying. I was gutted. I thought it was a joke when my mates told me this. You gotta be kidding me. Charlie Kirk? No. The last likelihood, the last candidate in my eyes, but anyway, I digress. That's it. That's it for the video. That's all I wanted to say. It's been said, but I think what Charlie, and I'm not going to do what I want to do. I'm going to advocate for what Charlie would want to do, and he would want peace. He'd want forgiveness. He'd want us to continue talking. And that is what we should do. Grieve and talk. Keep talking, keep trying to talk. I'm going to fail that mission because I don't think I can talk to anyone who celebrated Charlie's death. I don't think I can. And I think that's the question going forward, is like, if I ever meet someone new who wants to ask me a question about anything, I say, well, do you or do you not support, or were you not happy that Charlie Kirk died? That's the dividing line. That's the line. Anyone who's happy about it, not my friend. Don't want to talk to you. You're a loser. You lost your humanity a long time ago. And I want to talk with people who have the humanity intact, and not with those who don't have the humanity intact. Just honestly, and I'll share with you this this screen. Maybe I won't actually. I take it back. I won't. I'm not going to share it because the amount of people online. There's a saying in English: "You piss on a man's grave." They're pissing on his grave. That's what they're doing. You know, they're calling him all sorts of words. Oh, I just can't believe it. Honestly, it's absolutely and the problem is a lot of young people, a lot of people were brought, were brought together through him. He was friendly to a lot of people. He was their role model, and to me, a very good one at that. If you wanted a role model in life, Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, not bad. Or Charlie Kirk. Take your pick. The online world is for the right wingers, young people. You either got Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, or Charlie Kirk. That's the top of my head. That's where I can think of. He connected with the young people. He had that oomph about him, and I got to stop now. I thought I cried. I generally, honestly, it's hit me as bad as it hit me when I learned that Steve Irwin died. I learned that when I was young kid, and it hit me. That hit me as well. I cried for days. I still haven't got over his death. Every now and then I watch his episodes, just because I know I want my kids to watch Steve Irwin as well, and maybe I'll get them to watch Charlie Kirk as well. He was such a shocker. That's it. That's all I have to say. God bless you. I hope there's a God. So you got to meet your maker. Before Saul, well, I won't be going to heaven, but maybe not. I don't know. No, I'm not religious, so probably not. So I'll never get to meet him ever. That's me. All right. See you later. God bless.
From heartland fields to city streets, he spoke the truth. He felt no defeat. A patriot's fire, a father's embrace, a voice of courage the world can't replace. Raise the flag, let the stars still wave for the voice skies, the eagle cries, America weeps, but his spirit